Offering good governance for Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu is usually a serious business. This is evident in Mr. Governor's recent official engagements. So let's keep you posted from the Governor's Office platform on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria about recent official engagements of Mr. Governor. We'll be right back. The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at the recently held Nigerian Institute of International Affairs NIA Distinguished Lecture Series held in Lagos with the theme Lagos and Nigeria 2030 Projections of a World Power, gave a thought-provoking and reassuring speech about the great futuristic goals and aspirations of Lagos as a city-state destined to become Africa's model city and a global economic financial hub that is safe, secure, functional, and productive. Mr. Governor will describe the theme of the event as apt and timely, noted that the Lagos vision is anchored on 4 critical pillars.
Lagos and Nigeria 2030, projection of a world power. I found this theme especially inspiring, given how it readily acknowledges the very strong interconnection between Lagos and Nigeria, and the fact that there is no future version of Nigeria that would not be deeply shaped and impacted by Lagos. The concept of Nigeria 2030 brings to mind a series of national and international visions. On the domestic scene, we've seen Vision 2010. It came to mind. It was followed by Vision 2020, and then Nigerian Agenda 2050, which was launched by the last administration in 2023. They all seek to place Nigeria amongst world-leading middle-income economies by 2050. And upon the assumption of office, my leader, my president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR, declared a goal of making Nigeria a $1 trillion economy by 2030. You can see Nigeria's commitment to Paris Climate Agreement. We believe is envisioned, and we said that we will end gas flaring by 2030, while also generating a third of our electricity from renewable sources. And so you can see different dimensions of Nigeria's vision. However, at the subnational level, we have the Lagos State Development Plan 2052, which was our own 30-year development plan that was launched in year 2022. It was eloquently articulated our current administration's ambition to become Africa's model megacity and a global economic financial hub that is safe, that is secure, it's functional and productive. So it's a mouthful ambition that we have driven and we've casted for Lagos State. The Lagos State 30-year plan has been anchored on 4 critical pillars. We want to build a thriving economy. We want to have modern infrastructure in all facets. We want to have a human-centric city in which all the global players in the world will think of a location where they can resource 500,000 tech experts. Think of Lagos.
Earlier in his opening remark, the Director General of the Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor Ehosa Osage, described the greatness, potentials, unique capabilities, and strength of Lagos as a local and international brand city, using verifiable parameters to drive home his message.
There are very few world powers, and Lagos ranks very high on that list. Today, with a population in excess of 22 million, Lagos qualifies and has the merit of being Africa's growth center. Lagos is unparalleled in Africa, and you will soon see why. But let me just tell us a few things. There are 5 cities in the world that are called Lagos. Three are very prominent. One is in Portugal, another is in Greece. There is one that has an alliance in Benin Republic next door to us. And in the Philippines, you also have a Lagos. But of all these five, the one that gives all the others the bearing that they have is Eko, our own Lagos. Lagos is also the foundation of Nigeria's judiciary. And one of the reasons we have Lagos so vibrant is the strength of its judiciary. Think what Lagos has also done in the last couple of years. Lagos pioneered the alternative dispute resolution mechanisms, the multi-court house. That's Lagos. Lagos also introduced special offenses, including sex offenses courts. That is second to none. So if you've been thinking of an effective judicial system, Lagos has led the way. Nigeria's civil society has found its place in Lagos. Think of all of the activists, all of the guys that drove Nigeria's democratization process. All those who pioneered those things and laid down their lives and made those unbelievable sacrifices. They were all in Lagos. But Lagos is a heartbeat for something else that you haven't considered. It's not just the commercial capital of Africa. It's a commercial hub for the entire universe of humanity. The Nigerian private sector, which has taken the world by storm, is Lagos-based. Think of all the great names in our private sector. All of those people that are making the world different, from the refineries that have been established, to the entrepreneurial drives that they have had, to the big banks that, the systems that run African finances come from Nigerian banks, and they all come from Lagos. So, Lagos is the heartbeat that a global power has. But most of all, Lagos has been the most blessed of all old states in Nigeria with the best forms of leadership. I'm sure that if you count back and look at what Lagos has achieved over the years, you cannot but recognize that at the core of all that Lagos has achieved is good leadership.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at the first Lagos State Waterfront Summit, organized by the Ministry of Waterfront and Infrastructural Development, described the gathering as strategic to confront one of the greatest environmental and socio-economic challenges of our time. The governor gave his first-hand experience at the challenges and preferred solution-driven strategies.
The gathering, in my view, is historic, but it's also very necessary. And it's urgent because it's a come together, and you've seen from all the speakers, to confront one of the greatest environmental and social economic challenges of our time: the preservation and the sustainability management of our lagoon and waterways. The Lagos Lagoon is central to our ecosystem, providing essential support to countless communities. All of my traditional rulers, all of them, they have their kingdom all by the water, and acting as an economic lifeline for millions. It is a vital link to our past, it's a critical link of our culture and the future we're building together. This invaluable natural treasure is facing serious threats. Dr. Banire has said it, the last speaker had said it. We've seen issues of illegal dredging, unregulated sand mining, reckless land reclamation, abandon and shipwrecks, marine pollution, and unchecked urban growth are all taking toll on the well-being of our lagoon. Climate change is making this worse. It's leading to flooding and coastal surges that displaces the entire communities and erodes our shorelines. I stand here with my heart bleeding, quite frankly, that indeed we have a problem, and it's something that each and every one of us can rise up to help to solve. A few weeks ago, I visited the coastline, Ibeshe, to Ilashe, to Inagbe, all on the coastal communities, and the reports are out there in the papers. And it represents both the promise and the challenges of our waterfront. We saw huge opportunity, huge commercial opportunity, but we also saw challenges on that trip. I met with residents, I listened to their concerns, and I saw firsthand the struggles they face daily, the homes at risk of erosion, livelihood that has been disrupted by flooding, and infrastructure that has not kept pace with the needs of a growing population. Those visits reminded me that behind every statistics, real people whose hopes and future depends on the decision we all make today. Perhaps one of the simplest examples of those challenges is in a village called Idotun, a once thriving coastal community, now almost completely swept away by the unforgiven waves of the Atlantic. This is the human face of coastal erosion, and it's a wake-up call that we must act urgently and decisively so. Recent global reports highlighted that more than 80% of the shoreline of Lagos are being threatened in the next 50 years. And I think it speaks to the reality of what we're also saying today.
Earlier in his speech, the Commissioner of the Ministry, Honorable Yakub Ekundayo Alebiosu, submitted that the earlier practical steps are taken to address the degradation of the coastal lines, the better for the city.
Water. It is life, culture, economy, and certainly identity. Yet today, it faces mounting pressure from pollution, unchecked urbanization, and climate change. We have all witnessed how some coastal communities, like Idotun village, have been swept away. And we know that if nothing is done, more communities, livelihoods, and opportunities will be lost. We must also confront the growing challenge of illegal dredging that is weakening our shorelines, altering the natural flow of the lagoon.
The Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, reiterated the need for the state government to raise and deepen the bond market in order to have the financial capacity to fast-track development and address fundamental projects critical to sustain the Things Plus developmental agenda of his administration. Mr. Governor raised fundamental goals and certain parameters to ensure that the Lagos bonds are oversubscribed. Governor Sanwo-Olu bared his mind at a recent forum in Lagos with investors, targeting and focusing on the Series 2 green bonds and Series 4 bond issuance.
This is the most important meeting and engagement that I need to have, because this one signals, how we do or don't do well at the end of the day. Because it's really around what level of development we can throw back into our system. And what does the first slide shows? We're doing Series 2 green bonds and Series 4, bond issuance, under some of these things. And I will honestly speak to the challenges that we have. And so when BB said that we're raising the bar and we're breaking records, believe me, these are no records again. Because even before we raise this money, Roosevelt was with me the other day, it's been spent. It's not close to what we require at all. And all of us needs to be very critical about this and look at your own balance sheet 4 or 5 years ago and where it is now. And so if you can extrapolate and see the volume of business, the numbers you are doing, post-COVID, from 2019 now to 2025, how you have tripled and you have quadrupled whatever numbers in all of these spheres. right? It speaks that even for us in the private, on the public sector side, we need to do 10 times because we're 5-8 times behind schedule. All of our infrastructure, each year on year, we said we need to do, some numbers that we are actually running behind schedule. Now to add the challenges of the reality of the numbers and the figures we're dealing with now, and to have everything we have to be repriced. So when they said that we're doing 3 trillion, so we'll see it in dollar terms. How much is that? So it's like going back to where we were in 2019 or 2020. So indeed, if we live here believing that the budget of Lagos by next year should be about 8 to 10 trillion, then we're beginning to talk. If you now see that the entire series of 1 trillion should be what this market should be able to help us raise at once, then we're talking.
Earlier in his speech, Lagos State Honorable Commissioner for Finance, Abayomi Oluyomi, noted the spectacular performance and advantages of investing in Lagos bonds and factors responsible for its success so far.
Lagos is not a stranger to bonds because, of course, we were the first subnational to issue a revenue bond in Nigeria, a 30 million bond issued in 1987 to fund the Lekki Peninsula Scheme 1. Lagos today, and at this current time, is also setting 2 additional records. One, as the first subnational government in Nigeria to issue green bond, and also to issue the largest single series of conventional bond, which we said is 200 billion. So those 2 records are being set by Lagos as well. The Lekki corridor today is becoming an economic powerhouse, not only of Lagos State, but also in the sub-Saharan Africa. A clear reminder of what is possible when financing is done right. Over the years, we have successfully raised funds through bonds and other mechanisms and channeled them into landmark projects, such as the Lekki Deep Seaport, the Blue and Red Line project, the Ikeja bus terminal, the affordable houses, and of course, different food hubs that we have across the state. The financial world is shifting towards impact-driven investments, and Lagos cannot afford to be left behind. Investors are no longer just looking at returns. They want to see social impact, environmental sustainability, and long-term development. Within the Lagos State financial ecosystem, social and diaspora bond with environmental impact bonds are dominating the current conversation and our current initiatives. Lagos is a city of possibilities. We have shown time and time again that with visionary leadership, strategic planning, and disciplined execution, we can transform financial limitations into opportunities.
And still from the governor's office, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, celebrated the 2025 International Youth Week with the youths in Lagos in a grand style. The governor, while admonishing the youths to transform the state and the nation in their various fields of endeavor, noted the great potentials of the youths as great assets to the state and the country. He equally highlighted various efforts and initiatives of his government to position and empower the youths in Lagos State.
I'm truly excited to be here with you today. The 2025 National Youth Day Summit is a yearly event which is being organized by the Lagos State Ministry of Youth and Social Development. This event, it aligns perfectly with the global celebration of the young people who are undeniably the driving force behind growth, behind innovation, and certainly are the driving force behind progress. This year's theme, Local Youth Action for the Sustainable Development Goals and Beyond, is incredibly motivating. It highlights the vital role our youth plays, not just as reaching the sustainable goals requirement, but also in shaping the future of our society by the year 2030. In Lagos, we firmly believe that the young people are the leaders of today and tomorrow. Your creativity, your resilience, and innovation are essential for the growth of our state and our nation. That is why under our Teams Plus agenda, we have made youth empowerment, social inclusion as a priority in our government. We have rolled out, supported various youth initiative programs that we believe had uplifted the youth organization. We are doing the Amplifying Business Clinic and the pitch contest, which some of you are going to be walking away here with support. This contest has offered you training, it has offered mentorship, and it will be giving you grants to support your enterprises. The Ibile Youth Academy, which focuses on building leadership skills, civic responsibility, and entrepreneurship among young people, cuts across our 5 Ibile divisions. The Lagos State Youth Parliament is an amazing platform which encourages young people to get involved in civic activity. It helps you to embrace democratic values. It helps you to develop your leadership skills by giving you a voice in governance. They have teamed up with the Lagos State Employment Trust Fund. They have helped young entrepreneurs again to have access to funding and resources, which I believe is fantastic for fostering innovation and growth.
And finally, from the governor's office platform, the Lagos State Governor, Mr. Babajide Sanwo-Olu, at the recently held mid-term review of the pathway to malaria pre-elimination in Lagos, has identified collective support, commitment from major stakeholders, and the need to strengthen partnership among local and international stakeholders to tackle malaria. Mr. Governor submitted that the review is of strategic importance to prefer active solutions to check the devastating effect of malaria.
Today's review is a critical step in making that ambition a reality and ensuring that we'll have a lasting impact. Since it was launched, we have been committed to using evidence, using technology, and ensuring that collaborative efforts work. And one of the main reasons we're also here is community ownership. We cannot tackle malaria just by focusing on clinics. It is essential for households, each and every one of us, and communities to take steps, right steps, by eliminating breeding sites, by getting tested quickly, and by having faith in our health system. We believe that our strategy hinges on effective communication, strong network of community health workers, and collaboration with our traditional leaders, all of our market groups, in all of our schools and places of learning. We need to work the message of prevention and testing into every aspect of life in Lagos. WHO, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, the National Malaria Elimination Program, the Maisha Met, the Society for Family Health, all of our private health professionals and practitioners, our pharmacies, our hospitals, and our community providers. Your collective support is absolutely vital. The states appreciate your expertise, your resources, and your readiness to innovate along with us. Let us therefore strengthen this partnership and ensure that the lessons we learn in Lagos will help guide our national efforts and the work of all of our other states. To the Ministry of Health, we certainly cannot be thanking ourselves. Under the able leadership of Professor Akian, to all of our colleagues in LASHMA, IHV, the great work on how far you have come. But we all need to keep up the momentum. This is not the time to clap yet.
And that's the picture from the governor's office platform on the City of Lagos TV show on TV Nigeria. Thanks for watching.
Lagos.